Okotoks.
This is World Cancer Day. Cancer remains a leading cause of death in our country with, I want to make sure I get this right, 539 Canadians, 539 diagnosed with the disease every day. But there are remarkable leaps forward in battling this disease. Health specialist Leah Serich joining us with one of the success stories.
Yeah, which is nice, isn't it? It's nice to focus on the positive.
Right?
Yeah, but first we do need to get the world perspective because, of course, it is World Cancer Day. So, Canadian Cancer Society saying 2 out of 5 Canadians are expected to develop cancer during their lifetime still.
Wow.
1 in 4 will die. So those are still some pretty scary statistics. But of course, as you said, the good news is progress is being made. So one cancer where they've made great leaps forward is in lymphoma. Lymphoma is the disease of the lymph nodes and the lymphocytes, and these normally fight infection in the body. Sure. So in lymphoma, the lymph nodes become malignant and then they can spread. So that usually happens in the lymph nodes, in the blood, or even in the spleen.
Okay.
So non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is the most common kind of lymphoma, and then Hodgkin's lymphoma is one of the most common in young people. And that brings us to a young man that I met called Matt. Matt was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma at the age of 22. There he is there, just a couple of years ago. He did 6 cycles of chemotherapy and had all of those predictable results. You know, he had hair loss, fatigue, weight loss, nausea, and so on, but also some unpredictable complications that really threw him for a loop, like some really serious blood clots, even things like the mental impacts, you know, the depression and anxiety that can come, for sure. But Matt is one of these success stories. He made it through and realizes now that he's one of the lucky ones. Though doctors say most young people with Hodgkin's lymphoma now do very well these days, and that's thanks to these new treatments.
It's one of the diseases where we learn to use combination chemotherapy and sometimes radiation as well to try to kill the rapidly dividing cancer cells. And so it's become a real success story. While not everybody is cured, most people with Hodgkin's lymphoma are cured. And so we're looking at trying to also make sure people don't have long-term side effects, because young people, you know, can live for many years. It's trying to find the optimal treatment for patients.
Yeah, those combos must be key, right?
They are key. And what's really interesting with these young patients, as Dr. Geddes mentioned, is that they have to now figure out that balance. So they need to still cure the cancer, but they need to prevent long-term implications. So things like when you're going through chemotherapy, sometimes the lungs can be affected. They have to be concerned with things like fertility in these young people,
of course,
preserving their fertility.
Might want to have children.
Absolutely. They also have to be aware of the risk of second cancers that can come with too much exposure to chemotherapy and radiation. So it's a question of a very fine balance when you're dealing with these young people. But Dr. Geddes says lymphoma is a great example of how cancer treatments are really moving forward toward more targeted and personalized treatments for each cancer in each patient. And that's something that Matt now has the beauty of, because of course he survived and now he's thinking long term, and he explains what it's like to be cancer-free now.
It's spectacular. Yeah. There's always those like lingering thoughts, but I mean, it is such a small number, and I can't live in that because it's just crippling for what I want to do in life. So to know I have my entire life ahead of me and to do what I want to do, it's very empowering.
Isn't it empowering? Yeah, and he's such a wonderful young man. So Matt is now very inspired. He's going to start a non-profit organization to help other young people with cancer, because of course young people face their own challenges that are very unique, like finding other young people with cancer to talk to about how they're feeling. They also face unique challenges like financial situations, right? A lot of these people are young, they're university students, you know, they're just starting their careers. They don't have a big wealth of resources to help them get through this. So that's something that young people face specifically. And Matt's also giving back by being this year's honored hero for the Light the Night Walk in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Calgary.
Hey, good for you.
I know, it's really exciting. So the registration opens today, actually, on World Cancer Day for the Light the Night Walk. So this year's walk will be October 15th, as you can see on your screen there. But you can now register today on the website on your screen.
Bring the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it a family affair.
And Matt will be there, and you can meet him, and he's an amazing young man doing wonderful things.
Cool.
Yeah.
And of course, this is all going to be on
all
your blog,
on my blog,
right?
you bet.
BreakfastTelevision.ca is where you can find that. Just search for the blogs on our website. All right, thank you, Leah.
You're welcome.